For years, they told you that aging meant losing beauty, value, and opportunity. But what if I told you that after 40, that's exactly when you start gaining clarity, authenticity, power? No, you're not aging, you're becoming more radiant than ever. The thing is, no one ever told you that, because there's an entire system that profits from your insecurity. And if you keep believing there's something wrong with your age, you'll give up your light before it even begins to shine. The truth is, there's a quiet revolution happening. Ordinary women like you are rediscovering their beauty after 40, awakening a confidence after 40 that doesn't rely on filters. They're looking in the mirror with new eyes, realizing that self-love for women over 40 is more powerful than any anti-aging cream. And once that shift begins, the energy changes, the posture changes, life changes. It's the start of a new era, and it begins now with you. But don't worry. This doesn't mean you have to abandon everything and become someone else. It's actually the opposite. The path of a woman who is aging gracefully is not about fading away, but about finally showing up as herself. Every day, a new layer emerges, freer, stronger, more beautiful. That's where real empowerment begins. When you stop trying to fit in and start creating your own mold. This journey is about reinventing yourself at 40 with softness and truth, not pressure. So if you're tired of comparing yourself to unrealistic versions of eternal youth, if you already know your light can't be measured by your age, you're in the right place. What you'll find here isn't in magazines or quick fix beauty tips. It's already inside you. And everything starts when you realize this. After 40, you don't need permission to shine, you just need the courage to finally see yourself clearly. There's a sneaky belief that haunts the hearts of many women, that once you hit 40, something inside you starts to fade. That thought, even if unspoken, still echoes through a world obsessed with youth as the only measure of beauty, power, or worth. But who decided that rule? Who said your prime has an expiration date? The truth is, women over 40 are just starting to discover their most powerful selves. It's like the fire inside is finally being lit. After 40, you're not fading, you're emerging. The pressure to stay eternally young is everywhere, in ads, in social media, even hidden in compliments. But this pressure doesn't match the woman who's finally ready to live her emotional freedom. The idea of being radiant after 40 has nothing to do with looking younger, and everything to do with embracing the glow that only maturity brings. You're not competing with your 20s, you're celebrating the depth that your 40s offer. And let's be clear, this pressure isn't just in your head. A recent study revealed that over 60% of women over 40 feel invisible in the media. That hurts, yes, but it's also liberating. Because once you realize the system conditioned you, you get to rewrite your own story. Beauty after 40 doesn't belong in the shadows, it belongs at the center of your self-esteem, unapologetically. Have you noticed how many compliments for older women are followed by "for your age"? That little phrase quietly reinforces the idea that aging is decline. But it's not, aging is rising. Confidence after 40 isn't about fighting age, it's about finally dropping outdated standards. Your new standard is internal. It's about the sparkle in your eyes, not the number on your ID. If the media doesn't reflect you, reflect yourself. Start by looking in the mirror with new eyes. Swap "I should look like that" with "I am like this, and it's beautiful." It's a form of self-love for women over 40 that turns insecurity into reverence. Try talking to yourself like you would to a close friend, with warmth, with respect, with a touch of humor. Say it, "Today, I choose me." Because your energy shifts the moment you recognize your own worth. Slowly, you'll realize that aging gracefully isn't a secret formula. It's the freedom to stop fighting time. Being a woman in her 40s means being many things at once: a mother, a leader, a lover, a seeker, a warrior, and most of all, the author of her own path. And right there lies the key to a new kind of power, one that only blooms with emotional maturity. At 40, the changes go far beyond the physical, they touch the soul. A woman begins to see herself with more clarity, fewer illusions, and more courage. She stops seeking approval from others and starts asking, "What do I want to feel?" That shift, even if quiet, is a roar of power. The world might not notice it at first glance, but something inside her is aligning. Confidence after 40 doesn't come from likes. It comes from deep truths that once went ignored. There's an emotional maturity that no course can teach, only life stumbles and restarts. A woman in her 40s knows she doesn't need to please everyone. She understands not every response requires urgency. Silence, too, is power. Asterisk, she learns that self-esteem after 40 is not built from praise, but from choices. Like choosing to walk away from draining places and move towards spaces that celebrate her essence. That's emotional wisdom. Another big shift is how she sees her body. It stops being a battlefield and becomes a sacred home. She no longer has to fit into anyone else's ideal. She fits into herself. Asterisk, beauty after 40 isn't about hiding lines but honoring what they reveal. Wrinkles tell stories. Silver hair becomes a crown of experience. This is where beauty turns into radiance, the kind born from harmony between body, mind, and soul. And when this alignment begins, the energy shifts. A woman starts to glow differently. Call it magnetism, call it depth, call it truth. But whatever it is, you can feel it. And like we say around here, being radiant has nothing to do with wrinkles. It's all about presence. Asterisk, and presence can't be bought, it can't be faked, it can't be forced, it simply shows up. And when it does, you can't unsee it. This inner strength changes everything. The way she enters a room, the way she speaks, the way she holds herself. She might still wear the same perfume, but now it comes with a whole new aura. Asterisk, a kind of grace only found in women who dared to reinvent yourself at 40. It's the glow that comes from choosing yourself with no apology. And that, my dear, is a quiet revolution, and it doesn't stop there. Because when a woman realizes that her feminine energy after 40 is more instinctive, more refined, and more selective, she starts to move to a different rhythm, one that honors her pace, her cycles, her story. Asterisk, and the more she understands herself, the more she shines. And this kind of light, it's not about mirrors, it's about soul. The first change doesn't start with anti-wrinkle cream, it starts with your inner voice. So many women speak to themselves with a harshness they wouldn't dare use on a stranger. What if, today, you simply asked, what if I were kinder to myself? Asterisk, that's where true self-love for women over 40 begins. Instead of criticizing your reflection, try thanking the mirror for showing a whole, real, present woman. That moment is where the transformation begins. Creating small rituals of self-care is also an act of rebellion. Lighting a candle in the morning, making tea just for yourself, or playing music that makes your body smile. These are micro acts that whisper, I'm worth it. Asterisk, a woman who understands this starts to realize that aging gracefully has nothing to do with sitting back. It's about treating her body like sacred ground, because it is. These tiny choices awaken your radiant after 40 energy louder than any miracle product ever could. Here's another powerful practice: swap comparison for compassion. Instead of seeing other women as rivals, view them as mirrors of possibility. A 40-plus woman who is waking up to herself knows that confidence after 40 isn't fed by jealousy. It's nourished by inspiration. Asterisk, Instagram doesn't have to be a battlefield. It can be a garden of ideas for your style, your mood, your energy. Replace I want to be her with I want to be fully me with soul. Redefining beauty as energy, not appearance, is revolutionary because truly, no one falls in love with a cream. People are drawn to sparkle in your eyes, softness in your tone, strength in your choices. That's beauty after 40. Asterisk, not in makeup, but in how you sip coffee with delight, how you walk with intention, how you smile without fear. Beauty has become presence, and presence, it's magnetic. If you want something practical to try today, write yourself a letter. A note from the woman you're becoming to the woman you once were. Thank her for surviving, honor her wins, embrace her scars. Writing it becomes an emotional mirror, a bridge from your past self to your radiant future. Asterisk, and if you like a book to guide you, start with The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. It's a soul companion for anyone ready to shine from within after 40. You don't need to fit in, you need to see yourself clearly. Because each time you choose you, the world starts to see you differently too. Not because you changed on the outside, but because something on the inside lit up. Asterisk, and when that spark ignites, it touches everything: your relationships, your dreams, your light. That's the heart of 40s women empowerment. And maybe something even deeper is waiting to unfold. Now that you've seen what it really means to be a radiant woman after 40, the question is, what will you do with that power? Will you keep trying to fit into what others expect? Or will you finally own the woman you were meant to be? Asterisk, because your light doesn't need permission. It needs a decision. And every choice you make, from how you look in the mirror to how you show up in the world, can be a declaration of self-love, strength, and freedom. Maybe no one ever told you this, but you can start today. You can change everything without changing a single thing in the mirror. You can speak to yourself with more compassion, move through life with more presence, and wear your story with pride. Asterisk, let your beauty after 40 rise from the inside. Redefine what it means to be alive, sensual, smart, inspiring, and all while being exactly who you are, because confidence after 40 isn't magic. It's awareness. So now I ask you, do you have the courage to see yourself with loving eyes? To quiet the inner critic and finally hear your own voice, to turn comparison into inspiration? Asterisk, what could you do today, just today, to treat yourself like someone who deserves the best? Maybe turn off your phone for 10 minutes, right? Something kind about yourself, or dance alone in your living room. All of it is sacred. All of it is feminine energy after 40 emotion. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about truth. It's about looking at every line, every curve, every memory and saying, thank you for bringing me here, because you made it. Asterisk, and now that you're here, it's time to take your place. The world needs your glow, your courage, your authenticity. Self-love for women over 40 isn't a luxury, it's a revolution, and it starts with you. If this message touched something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a comment below. What part of this conversation moved you most? What realization hit home for you? Asterisk, and more than anything, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because here, we speak truth with soul and with purpose, and this is only the beginning.